Welcome to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome, 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 everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, everyone who is watching us on Facebook. Did you know you can head on over to The Real Level Up? That's The Real Level Up on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also on Twitter. All right, you guys, I always say it. We're going to have another exciting show. Yes, Mr. Scribe, we always do that for the Twitter, which is now known as X. So Mr. Scribe is trying to actually correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Scribe. It's now known as X. We have another exciting show, everyone. Always, always, I'm always saying we're going to have another exciting show. So, Mr. Scribe, even in pre show, sir, you realize who we got on this show, huh?
Wow, I just took a chance because I've never met him. This is my first time meeting Omarie virtually, but something just said just Google the name and just see what happened. And man, it just the floodgates open. So this brother is doing his thing. I see he's an entrepreneur, and I'm really interested in hearing his story.
Well, let's not hold him up any longer because one thing I want everybody to know once again, you may want to get your pen and paper ready because in case you did not know, August is, I'm sorry, April is our entrepreneur month, and we brought on a heavy hitter. Introducing Omarie Mann. Hello, Omarie. How are you?
Hey there, hey there, hey there. That was a great intro. That was a great intro.
Well, listen, we are so excited for you coming on our show, Amari. Now, you came by way of someone who we know who is near and dear and special to us. We thank you that you said yes, and thank you for allowing you coming on the show and letting everybody know about entrepreneurship. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Omari, because we see at the bottom of your screen right there, entrepreneur and founder. We got a lot of
Right
background
side down.
noise, you guys. Please mute out. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Omari.
Yeah, so my name is Omarie Mann. Uh, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur while working in corporate my entire life. Like I've always had some sort of entrepreneurial spirit going on. I'm from Carrollton, Georgia, right there by Alabama, a little west, I-20 West. But I'm staying here in Atlanta. Just want to make an impact on the world and want to make history and leave a legacy for my family.
Wow, wow, wow. And see, this is, you know what, Omari, I'm looking at you and, I'm always saying, okay, he's got to be a really young man, but with a lot of wisdom.
I'll take that. My mom always tell me just keep living. She always say keep living, and that's what I try to do every day. To
Man. But you know what, Omari, I'm gonna say this as well. I love what your mom is saying because when you have that in your heart, in your mind, and in your heart, it keeps you young, right? When you say,
absolutely, absolutely, because you want to see what's next. You always want to live to see what's next. So that's my motto. What's next? What's coming next? What obstacles do I have to tackle, or how can I make myself reach the ultimate happiness?
mm, mm. Well, Amari, we have a little technical difficulties with Mr. Scribe. He'll be back on to recite our scripture of the day, but before he gets back on, we got another 5 minutes before we get into our first break. But what I wanted to say, ask you, Amari, what keeps you going as an entrepreneur, as as a person? Let me say this. Let me. I learned this over this week. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Tell me what you think about that.
It's definitely a difference of from being an entrepreneur and a businessman and having a business mindset, because you can start a business and not know. You can be an entrepreneur and start a business and not have the business acumen. I suffered from that. I suffer from that, and I feel like that's a part of why we're here, why we're talking about, customer discovery. So you have to bump your head to really figure out the business aspect of being an entrepreneur.
Woo! Yo, he's going to be bringing it today, and now that Mr. Scribe is back, I want him to actually recite our scripture of the day. So, Omarie, keep those thoughts with you until we come on the other side of the break, because this is what I love doing. We're going to sit here and just listen to you. We're going to glean from your experiences and from everything that you think in your heart and your mind and your soul about entrepreneurship. I know that's the reason why our amazing grace have brought you to the show to even. Okay, I'm gonna say this: if you don't help anybody else, you'll help me.
Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead, Mr. Scribe. Go ahead. What's our scripture of the day?
We're trying to come up with something because, like I said, I'm just meeting Omarie for the first time virtually, but now I've got a little background on what he does. So this is the scripture that came. Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, the 11th verse, and it reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and not to harm you." And then Romans 8:28, "All things work together for good to those who love God, who are called according to his purpose."
Come on, I receive it.
No doubt.
One thing I gotta say, Mr. Scribe always come up with the right. Go ahead, Mr. Scribe. You always come up with the right.
No, you receive that. I freely give, because anytime that Angee is giving this to put me to do the scripture, I don't do it myself. I don't randomly pick. I allow the Holy Spirit to come, depending on who the guest is and the topic. And every time, I'm 100 for 100, bro.
Absolutely. It definitely hit home.
Well, listen, we got some people already in the comment section. Want to give a shout out before we go to break. We got our sister show. That is Food for Talk. Kelly Hawkins is saying hello to the family. What's up, Kelly? We also have someone else from our sister show from CHH Jams Presents. We got Bertrand McKinney in the comment section.
Bertie. All right.
Also want to give a special shout out to our diamond in the house. There is Mary Goolsby, my brother. And listen, this is one thing that she said, Omarie. She's like, yep, me too. I'm here to learn too.
We're still learning. So it's a learning process.
Learning process. Also want to give a special shout out to Portia Williams. Thank you, Portia, for saying hello. Hello, how are you, Miss Portia? Kimberly Walker, the golden voice, is in the house. All right. Also, we have Angela Conley. Let me tell you guys something about Angela Conley. If you guys want to learn how to share this information, y'all give Angela Conley a call. Omarie, she's already shared it out to about 15 people. Now, let me tell you how many people she's going to share it out to before the end of the show.
Okay.
150 people. That's who Angela Conley is. Okay.
Angela Conley. Thank you, Angela Conley. Keep sharing. Share like. Come on.
She's still sharing, my brother. Thank you, Angela, for sharing. And also all of you guys who will be hitting that share button. You guys, we're going to take our first break, and that will give you an opportunity to hit that share button. You guys, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. And when we come back, we will have more conversation with Omarie Mann, entrepreneur and founder. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Problems in my life, things ain't going right. Had to move with faith, I can't go by sight. Take me by my hand when things are going crazy. Said you never leave and you won't forsake me. Hey. Problems in my life, things ain't going right. Had to move with faith, I can't go by sight. Take me by my hand when things are going crazy. Said you never leave and you won't forsake me.
I would never leave. He got my back like a chiropractor. Middle his skin, I'm like a circuit tractor. OG fly like a pterodactyl. Woo! Yes, I am dynamic. I got God protecting me, so there's no need to panic. Advantage, I laid it at his feet and the haters can't understand it. Let me get specific, they wear the salty like the Atlantic. Barracudas and sharks, all trying to drown the kid. Guess what, this kid can swim, but I really don't have to swim. Cause the one I follow never ever seen his feet get wet. Never seen his feet submerged. To the fish he stand up very high, looking just like a bird. To the fish he stand up very high, looking just like a bird.
Problems in my life, things ain't going right. Ain't going right. Had to move with faith, I can't go by sight. Can't go by sight. Take me by my hand when things are going crazy. Going crazy. Said you never leave me.
My name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. Numbers is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers into non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes one number at a time.
Hi, I'm Pat Nash, and I want to speak to you a little bit about dreams, about hope, about maybe giving up or wondering why you haven't moved forward. Someone asked me, how did you get here to be a relationship coach? It actually came out of a need for myself and what I observed looking around after I asked myself a couple of questions. Why was I not doing the things that I wanted to do? Why had I gone through divorce? I realized I was not the only one. You see, there's a lot of us who stopped hoping, who stopped dreaming, who stopped chasing our dreams or going after our dreams because we don't have to chase anything. When we look internally and figure out what it is that's holding us back, the sky's the limit, and you don't have to chase anything. You attract it.
This is Patty Williams of Padex Benefit Advisors. You are listening to Angee from the B and Vibing with Mr. Scribe. Level up every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Don't touch that dial.
Hello, this is Roger Yeager. Level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Don't touch that dial.
This is Mr. Scribe, co-host on The Real Level Up. Tune in on Facebook Live, X, LinkedIn, and YouTube every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Join us.
Welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, I want everyone to remember I said this last week, Mr. Scribe, that we got people watching the show while they're driving. What? Listen, you guys can go to our radio affiliate, chhjams.com, and you can listen to this show in its entirety. Now, let me tell you this other part, Mr. Scribe. I went to go visit our sister show, Tony D uh, what's the name
New
of his
artist
show?
profile.
The New Artist Profile Live. And he said something really, really exciting that's going to be coming up probably in the next month as far as radio is concerned for Level Up Nation. So I want all of you guys to stay tuned. What I want you really to do is stop driving and watching the show. You guys, we're going to go to radio. We got
Wow.
one radio station already in the saddle. You guys, please head on over to chhjams.com, and there you can listen to the show in its entirety. Okay? All right, let's get right into our conversation with none other than Omarie Mann. Okay, Omarie, we had some people that slid on into the live show just now. So
Okay.
we're gonna go back a little bit about who you are, where you're from, who your people be, and all that good stuff.
Gotcha.
Let's go all the way back to this. We ask this question all the time, Omarie. Now don't get scared.
Okay.
I think you'll be able to answer the question. Who was Omarie? You see, Omarie, I'm asking you this question because we got another one of our shows that stole this question from us, but that's okay. We're taking it back.
It's all in
Who
family.
was all the family? Who was Omarie Mann at 10 years old?
At 10 years old, I was an ambitious 10-year-old that loved music. I love music so much. I used to go to my dad's house. My mom and my dad, they split up when I was maybe like 5 or 6, but my dad was heavy in the church, and he tried to make me sing in the choir one time, and I said, I can't sing, so I'm going to learn how to play drums. So immediately I taught myself how to play drums at 10. And at 10, I started playing for the church and started playing for the choir at church. Just ambitious in the music, love music. I've always been in the music, was able to teach myself. My dad always had records, vinyl, for people that don't know. He always had vinyl laying around. See, exactly. Vinyl, he would make his own mixtape. So I saw this growing up and I was intrigued.
Okay.
So that's what really started my entrepreneurial journey at 10. Being a drummer, which translated into being a DJ at 10.
Yeah. And see, we got lit up saying, I'm a rapper.
Hey, keep going, lit up. I'm telling you, keep going. For real.
And see how Omarie Angee had to classify what vinyl is? A lot of folk have no idea what vinyl is. I grew up on vinyl.
Well, wait, let me ask Omarie, because see, Omarie is out here doing his thing. And let me say this to the audience. We don't have Omarie too long, you guys, because he's an entrepreneur. He got something else he got to do. So y'all better ask your questions and comments now while we got him.
Yeah.
But Omarie, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because I know that you are into music and everything. Tell me this. My husband is a professional musician.
Okay.
When music was on vinyl, he always says that the music coming off the vinyl was so much fuller and richer than what we are doing. Are you saying the same thing? What we're doing on digital.
It's warmer.
What?
It feels fuller, just like you said. It sounds totally different. And going back to the 10-year-old me, I used to make my own mixtapes because my uncle, he had maybe like 4,000 to 5,000 different vinyls.
Wow.
I used to go to my grandmother's house and be in his room, his studio, listening to vinyl all day, playing it the way that I want to hear it, whether it was sped up or slowed down, but it feels so much fuller, so much richer. So I definitely recommend vinyl over any type.
Angee, that's the beauty of a DJ, because he started very early. And I can remember being from New York, when all of that, the scratching and the different techniques started. I mean, there was a store in Manhattan, they would get crates. And like he said, you just sit and listen. But then the thing about it is the diversity of music, rock, jazz, R&B. So you got a plethora of different types of music, but the DJ can blend that and create his own art. That's the beauty of the real DJs can take everything and blend it and make it their own. That's the amazing part of DJing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my dad, he's a heavy jazz head, heavy jazz and contemporary jazz. So Kenny G, George Benson.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so yeah, Ramsey Lewis, Earth, Wind and Fire. So all of that music, it put me on the path of entrepreneurship. If I could
Wow.
do anything, so.
Music did. But Omarie, as you're talking, because you're talking from a DJ's perspective, and shout out to your art, because I did not realize the art of DJing until I kind of dibble and dabble into it. Let me tell you what I was mixing and doing my DJing from cassette tapes.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was doing it.
Now that's definitely something to recognize, because if you're mixing off of cassette tapes and making your own mixes, like that's a skill within itself, because you got to know exactly like where pause starts. So
yeah. I was doing the pauses and I had a double cassette tape, and then I had another tape recorder, the one that kind of laid down.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 3 songs mixing in with cassette tapes.
Oh,
and
wow.
The guys that were, that was doing the pop locking and all that, they were my buddies back then. And they kept thinking like, how are you mixing with cassette tapes? To this day, I can't even tell you how I did it.
It's a great skill, and hats off to you. Especially with cassette tapes, listen, that's a skill. That's a special skill.
So Angee, you got a few skills I didn't know about that. I know about how you was doing cassette mixtape. Wow.
I don't tell. I'm gonna send one day. I'm gonna put up the picture when I'm like, someone actually captured me, and I was right in the middle of mixing. Someone captured me, and I think, Omarie, I was only about 13 or 14 years old. But that's why I'm saying I get you, and that's where I never thought about it until you just said it. For the love of music and knowing that I can take this art and start out doing something that I love, because I would do these parties even for my mother and father. I would do these parties for my mother and father, and just having people get on the dance floor and have a great time because of the songs that you were picking, and you went in and out and kept the party flowing.
Absolutely.
That's why I love your art. I mean, I wish I would have kept going, because I probably would have learned how to do that on digital, because I still had the love for it, but I would have to like come to your school and learn how to.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, if you're able to mix on cassette tapes, then it'll definitely translate over to vinyl, MP3, like anything, because now it's way easier. So I think
it is way easier.
So Omarie, maybe the next time, when you do a gig, not today, because we know you got show today, maybe a little bit further down the road, maybe Angee from the B can get on the 1s and 2s.
Come on.
And rock the crowd.
Absolutely.
Angee.
I'll let you on the set.
Skill.
Come on. Upskill. That's what we're doing right here. We upskill.
Look, I would have to take some classes from Omarie first before I even try it. But I would let Level Up Nation know, because my best friend Gina, she knows how to pick the songs, and so I had her come out one day and do a party. Now she hit that party with all old school music, man. I don't even know how she did it.
See,
but it's just knowing the music though, and that's what let me go back to your okay. I'm gonna go beyond 10 years old, because you had to have, like you said, you had someone in your life to even show you and teach you. But speak on that though, Omarie, because I think what a lot of us are missing, and I'm trying to do the best I can with my 2 sons, their entrepreneurial mindset. Mm-hmm. And speak on just you having people in your life who you didn't know, you didn't call it that, but they were mentoring you speak on, the importance of you being that young and being exposed to different elements of what could turn you into an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's definitely like very important to have those people around you. Even going back to the 10-year-old me, church was a big thing for me, and being around the mentorship in church.
Wow.
Shout out to Tony Banks. Tony Banks taught me how to shake a man's hand properly at church. So even to this day, from 10-year-old me to this day, every time I see him, I make sure that I shake his hand properly. And that translated over my entire life, for shaking a man's hand or shaking anyone's hand for that matter.
Yeah.
Just, it shows the respect. And then just having people around that'll provide you information. That's mentorship,
Yeah.
People that'll give you the game for free sometimes, If people really want to help you, they'll talk to you and they'll help you. So that's my thing. Just being around, getting around that group of people that that's sowing seeds into you and that will help you get to the next level, And I feel like, to be honest with you, if people want to help you, sometimes they'll help you for free if it's genuine, So.
But that's the amazing part, Omarie. The fact that you started off in church. God moves, what do they say? God moves in mysterious ways. And even though he didn't realize it, all the different people that was flowing in and out of his life, like he said, what would make a person go to you and give you knowledge and not expect anything? That's a God thing. God is hung around, because we know how it is. You're in business. And we know in man's world how business can be on that particular level. I'm not sharing anything because I don't want him to get the one up on me and all those type of things. Because remember, we're talking about a beautiful, positive thing, but there's that other side. Being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. You're going to have people that, well, I don't like Omarie because he's doing this and this and this, and I want to do what I can to tell people don't share with him, don't partner with him, this and that. But when God is in control, none of that matters. You're going to be successful. And that's the beauty part of mirroring him with what our purpose is. Because when you combine the two, you can only be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, listen, we have some people in the comments. Let me make sure I get some of these comments in. Well, let's see. Is that our amazing Grace saying, wow, that's amazing. I think what we were talking about at the time is just, the importance of having that mentorship, is having those people in your life that could, kind of push you forward a little bit. And I do agree with Mr. Scribe that if somebody is going, well, I think you said it, if somebody is going to help you, they'll help you for free.
They'll help you for free. I mean, it's one thing. So last Friday, they always have these fireside chats here at Atlanta Tech Village. If you don't know, Atlanta Tech Village is the third largest tech hub in the nation. There, if you ever heard of Prize Picks built their company and graduated out of here. Calendly was built up here on the 5th floor. But he said one thing David Cummins said, which he's the CEO of Atlanta Tech Village. He said entrepreneurs love helping other entrepreneurs. If you just get around those people, you're going to soak up.
You in the room, Omarie. You in the
got
room. And that's another part of blessing. Yeah. You're in the room. That's the other blessing as well. He'll open those doors where you get in the room and you can listen to, and like you said, get these statements. Wow, okay, never thought of that. So you're in that room, which is another blessing in itself.
Absolutely. It's been ups and downs and ebbs and flows, but I feel like I appreciate each and every last one of those. So yeah, definitely those rooms, just being around those people, I wouldn't be here today on this podcast if it wasn't for other people helping with both of my companies, and even with me DJing too. I call DJing my Batman job. But, rush the line. My Batman job, but it does what it's supposed to do.
But that's a steady thing, though. That DJing, when you're doing your other things and your vision is looking beyond with your rush company and some of the things you're doing, man, I need that steady revenue. That's where the DJ part comes right in, because you know when you got those gigs lined up, you can project. I got a gig this weekend. Next week, I got this. I know I'm gonna make X amount. Some of that's gonna go, for me to do what I need to do, but the other part's going back into the business. That's the way you run things. That's how you do it.
That's it. So yeah, it definitely pays to be in those rooms and getting around those people, and definitely having some mentors. That investment doesn't come just in the form of monetary value. It comes with them sowing seeds into your life, giving you knowledge, giving you wisdom of things that they've been through. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. So it's definitely being around those people. So.
And that, that's what I love different about the entrepreneur versus the businessman. The businessman has only one thing on their mind, one model. An entrepreneur will look at different ways of getting out a great product. And if that doesn't work, an entrepreneur will find, other ways, other people, other situations to make sure that a great product comes out. Businessman only has one. I don't know if people even realize there's a difference between a business person to an entrepreneur. Go ahead, Omarie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like going back to the whole title of customer discovery, like that's one thing that you gotta do in order to establish you being a business. An entrepreneur can go out here and do and make money any kind of way, but to have it set up the way that it's supposed to be set up, you definitely got to have that business acumen. And it comes from, like I said, bumping your head a couple of times at first. Like I did it with Rush the Line. I'm still learning to this day, and things are different than they were when we first started Rush the Line. So you have to keep up with society. With those people being around you. So I can definitely attest to that.
And that's good advice.
Okay, well, we got a question. We got a question. Okay. Carmen said, "Hi, what all do you do, and what fields are they in?"
Okay, so I'll start with one of the first things with Rush the Line. So Rush the Line, we wanted to provide food delivery for people in the airport, and I'll tell you how that came along. This was 2018. So I have this group of friends. When I was living in Carrollton, I was working at a tech company. I went to Georgia Southern. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I transferred back to a technical school, West Georgia Technical in Carrollton. And I was like, hey, if I'm going to work, then I'm going to work smart. I don't want to work hard. I saw my mom do it for 23 years at Sony Music, and I didn't want to do that. So I was like, hey, what can I do to not work hard but work smart? So I went to school trying to figure that out, and then I transferred to Carrollton, went back to West Georgia Central in Carrollton, and studied network engineering. So I was like systems admin for maybe 15 to 20 years. So going back to Rush the Line, so a couple of my friends that worked at this company, we all just had this entrepreneur mindset, and we were like, hey, let's have this meeting and figure out what other stream of revenue that we can create, and figure out how we can make some more money, because we're young and we don't have any kids at the time. Let's just try to figure it out. So the first time we had a meeting, we were young, and that didn't amount to anything. We ended up putting some ideas down and ended up going to the club later on, forgetting all about it. Until 7 years later. 7 years later. So I was on a cruise with my family, and everybody just had different stuff going on. And I was like, hey, I gotta figure out what I want to do, because being in corporate, I just started feeling the burnout of being in corporate IT. And I had just moved to Atlanta, and Atlanta is the best place, I feel like, to start a business.
Come on.
Statistics, say that too. So I called all my friends, 15 people group chat, and I said, hey, we're going to meet at my apartment here, and we're going to throw some ideas in the bucket, and we're going to see how we can make some money somewhere. I don't know how that goes. So at the time, 15 of my best friends, and this is from different friend groups, all came to my apartment. We threw some ideas in a bucket, and we pulled out 3. This was 2017. Rush the Line was one of them. A mobile barbershop was another one. and there was real estate was another one too. But all of these things were kind of in the service-based industry. So at the time, Uber was really ramping up in the city. So we were like, all right, well, let's figure out which one is the best. So my idea made it out first, Rush the Line. We didn't have a name for it. It was just food delivery in the airport. I said, what if you could sit in the airport at your seat and get your food delivered to you? This pre-COVID, this is pre-everything. So
wow.
So I was like, all right, let's figure it out. So for the first couple of weeks, we all gung ho. We putting different messages in the group. We are going back and forth, shooting out ideas to each other. And then after that 2 weeks, the chat died. Nobody was saying nothing. And so it seemed like, of course, everyone had other things going on. So I was like, well, hey, I'm going to take this idea and I'm going to figure out how to execute on it. So me working at my corporate job, I found some people that was working with me. And I was like, hey, what do you think about this? I went to a developer, an app developer. I was like, hey, what you think about this? He was like, man, I want to work on it. And I was like, all right, cool. Come on. Not knowing the business aspect of business, just, hey, this is a group of friends. I just want to make some cool stuff with my friends and try to make some money. So I told another one of my friends, and she was like, oh man, let's do it. And her deal was, if it's successful, then just buy me a food truck. I was like, all right, cool. If it's successful enough for me to buy you a food truck, then obviously it's successful. So from that point, we started working on it. I got my first cousin, my mom's sister's son. Shout out to Elijah Thomas. That's my best friend, my brother, my CTO, my co-founder, everything, first cousin. And he was like, yo, I can build this. So I was like, all right, cool. So pulled him on. My best friend of 30 years, pulled him on. So we all started meeting every single Sunday, working on whatever this is, right? So we started working, and we just started meeting different people, going to different things in the city, going to ATDC at Georgia Tech, started enrolling in their program, being around those people in those groups that are building these things, building these tech companies, these tech founders. And so from that point, we just started meeting different people, and we made some traction and got in contact with the airport, made some traction there. Then COVID hits.
Oh boy.
The
enemy's always attacking. The enemy's always trying to derail your dreams.
Always. And I had a co-founder quit. The co-founder quit. And then the CTO quit. So I was like, oh man, I'm angry, I'm mad, not knowing how business works, still going back to the whole business thing, not knowing how business works. But that taught me a valuable lesson though, to have the business aspect in place. We weren't a LLC, we weren't a C Corp, we weren't any of that. But we ended up going to an event down at Atlanta Tech Village and meeting a law firm, and they ended up doing our corporation work for us. So that was the first step. We were like, hey, well, we want to make sure that we have everything in place. So because we want to have people to invest, not knowing that there's like 20 pages of documents to read, to go over. And I learned a valuable lesson 2 years later, and we'll get to that in a minute after the co-founder quit.
Okay, hold that thought, because I think you're right. Yeah.
That's dirty.
I want you to continue with this story, because I'm telling you, as you are giving your testimony, Omarie, I promise you. Okay, I'm gonna raise my hand again. I'm listening with open ears, okay? Right. Because everybody who I know, who I surround myself with, are entrepreneurs. And I can name about 5 people that got ears just like this right now. Mm-hmm. So, you guys, we're going to take this break because I want him to jump right back into this conversation. Here's the other thing. Please hit that share button. Y'all know it is somebody who that needs to hear the second half part of this story. Hit that share button. Well, you're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
prepared, crafted, and baked with love. A taste so delectable, like they were sent from heaven above. With every bite, a soothing warmth settles and abides. It feels like a hug on the inside. Kyrie's cookies explode with flavorful taste no one can duplicate. Joy permeates the soul with every bite, creating a tasty intimacy to savor a merry delight. A sprinkle of joy, a pinch of happiness, a dash of faith, a cup of compassion and happiness are ingredients that give Kyrie's cookies bona fide uniqueness. Kyrie's cookies make my heart sing, packaged with a royal presentation fit for a king. Kyrie's cookies, a tasty treat that are simply a pleasure to eat.
They said it was wrong to promote me, that I wasn't ready, that I would fail.
Those who have betrayed me must pay.
You're the first black agent. Don't be the last.
Revenge is all I have left.
The CIA cannot get involved, so you're on your own.
Aren't we all?
I'm a man who gets what he wants.
Just get me the money. You have 24 hours.
Hello, business owners. This is your fit photographer, Angee Gerard, coming at you with my 2025 campaign. The goal is to promote and empower her enterprise. Yes, the goal is to elevate women of color in business. On March the 1st, we are set to launch this new campaign, and it doesn't matter what your business is. Please contact us at www.andregerardphotography.com to book your consultation. Let's make this an amazing year. Follow me on all social media at Angee Gerard, your fit photographer.
And let's have a moment of clarity. There's freedom in your transparency. When you speak, you release, that's therapy. It's my decision to listen and do it carefully. Wanna live carefree? Well, it's gonna start. When secrets are kept, families are torn apart. I wanna do my part to help heal your heart. Shed some light on your life when your days are dark. Help ignite a spark that'll bring change. Be your shelter from the rain, assist with.
Hey, this is Kimberly Howell with Angel Rings Music Presents. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher, ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hey, this is Gina A. Towns, and I'm hooked on the real Level Up and Level Up Nation. You don't want to miss 1 minute of real talk that takes you higher. Every Sunday, 3 p.m., I say yes.
This is Kimberly Walker. Listen and watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
My name is Omarie Mann, serial entrepreneur. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
Omarie, put it down. Omarie, put it down.
Listen, that's some fast editing right there. Now.
But the energy, boy, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the brother just did it. He didn't prepare. He did it a few minutes ago. So you can see the talent is definitely there. And what you said in our last segment, I'm hooking up to Angee. Like you said, I ain't gonna drop off like the mother folks. Omarie, when you first started the biz, Andy's getting a biz. I'm hitching my wagon to Angee. I'll be right there. When it blows up,
listen.
I'm gonna get caught in the snap.
He's so silly. Omarie, okay. Omarie, I'm gonna say it to you. I ain't saying it to nobody else. Okay, so keep this secret. If y'all don't see Mr. Scribe, that's because he left. Okay, I don't know why he keeps saying it. I'm not trying to lose my job. I'm not trying to lose my position. It's because he left. Okay, just between me and you.
Okay,
we ain't tell nobody else.
Omarie, I'm trying to get in the room. I'm trying to get in the room with, just like the way you was in the room with the people, the movers and shakers. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm the co-host, but I'm trying to get with, the host to see what's going on and see what's happening. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do.
Enough all that. Enough all that. We got it. Okay, listen, Omarie, let's go back. I want to go back to what he was talking about in relation to, because Omarie, I promise you, and Mrs. Scribe is right. When you're talking, my brother, it's almost as if you have been sitting right next to me, living my life as I'm growing this network. Omarie, what I really think and feel that all entrepreneurs go through the same thing. And I love when you're saying, hey, get around other entrepreneurs. And you know why I think we help each other? Because we know what that heavy lift feels like. And you just don't want somebody else who's sitting right next to you. If you're the right person, let me say that first. If you're the right person with the right mind and the right heart, and in your heart that I have my own lane. So when I'm showing you what I do, I know that my lane stays here because, as Mr. Scribe always says, because of the grace of God. God has me here. I'm just going to help you to get to your lane. So go right back into what you were talking about, Omarie. I'm listening. I'm really seriously. I'm soaking in all the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah. You said it. Like getting around those people, getting into those environments. To go from when COVID happened, right? So before then, this was like December, right before my co-founder had quit. My co-founder quit. I'd never forget it. It was day of the Capitol rally. I'll never forget it. And I just said throughout that time that I was just gonna make it happen, with or without, whomever. And sometimes people, they'll just do stuff, and entrepreneurs will just do it and then figure out what the consequences are later on down the road, But every day I know at least like twice a week before we actually started a pilot program, and I'll get to the pilot program, I was buying airline tickets because the only way to get in the airport at that time was to buy airline tickets. So I was buying airline tickets and going back to what we were talking about again, customer discovery. You got to know about your customers or the business that you are trying to sell them. Figure out what they want, what are their pain points. So there's this book called The Mom Test by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
And he goes through these chapters, not a long book, go through these chapters, and what it programs you to do is when you're asking questions to your customer, doing customer discovery, you don't lead them. You ask them, well, what are your pain points? So one of our questions, well, what are your pain points in the airport? How does it feel to be stuck in line when you're in the airport? How did you feel? How did that make you feel? So you're not leading them. I'm not telling you to, hey, order food from rush to line. No, I want to get into your psyche of how did it make you feel while you were standing in line. So then you can validate and you can tell me, well, if I had food delivery, then that'll solve my problem. But we didn't ask those probing questions. I was going in the airport asking those probing questions to different travelers. So we bought these airline tickets, going in asking questions, but sometimes people just didn't want to be bothered. So there was a lot of no's. There was a lot of rudeness, but you got to get past all the no's to the yeses. So ask those questions about customer discovery. So going back to the airport, I was buying tickets the first time, maybe twice a week, just going in, interviewing the different customer segments, interviewing flight attendants, interviewing gate agents, interviewing business travelers, interviewing people that work behind the counters at these restaurants, finding out what their pain points was. So then finally I was like, well, the only way to get in the airport, because we don't have any connections, we got to buy these tickets to get in. So I bought airline tickets for 6 months straight to get through the airport, through security, to test our MVP. You don't know what MVP is in tech terms, is minimum viable product. So the one thing that we wanted to do, we wanted to accomplish delivering food to people or travelers inside the airport. But you think about it, Atlanta is the largest yet busiest airport in the world.
In the world.
So there was only one me and one of my CTO. And my CTO at the time, he had a newborn baby. He was in Canada, but he was dispatching meals to me while I'm in the Atlanta airport. Kind of had to stay low key a little bit because, we were testing our MVP. Now, it's one thing I'll say, do it within reason. If you're going to do something and ask for forgiveness later, do it within reason, where it don't land you in jail, where it doesn't ban you from anything. Within reason, and ask for forgiveness later, to those organizations. So for 5 months straight, we bought airline tickets every day for 5 days a week, just to market to our target audience. So once we got in there and we found out that it wasn't the average person that was having this issue, it was actually the people that worked there at the airport that was having this issue. They were having time constraints. And we built off of that. So the first segment that we ran, we were focused on strictly flight attendants.
Wow.
Because you think about it, flight attendants have the same pain points as people and probably a little bit more, because they're under such time constraints to get from one gate to the next gate between their round robin flights, as they call them. So sometimes we would have orders to come in where they would place them in Chicago. They would place them in
wow.
But see, my CTO, he's really good at strategically thinking through things. So for it to not compromise the safety, for it to not compromise anything else in the airport, we wanted to make sure that we were able to deliver those meals in a timely manner. So quality and safety was one of the biggest things for us. So we ended up siloing it and making it to where they could get it delivered in different times. So we would have different time slots instead of just having a free for all where everyone could order. But just because you build it don't mean that people gonna come. Don't mean that people gonna buy your product. So again, going back to that customer discovery, you gotta again let people know about what you're building. So I was in there at times, there was days that went by that I didn't have any orders. So
gotcha.
At the beginning, I was just in there making the best use of my time, passing out flyers to flight attendants.
There you go.
Passing out flyers and talking to different people that worked at the airport. Being low key again, but at the same time, just building a connection with these people, letting them know that, hey, we're here to help you, get meals throughout your shift, through your busy day, because we know that you all deal with a lot of stuff. So after a while, one order would come in, 2 orders would come in, 5 orders would come in, 10 orders came in, and it was myself and my CTO running through the airport, delivering these meals. And we talk about quality. We talk about, being there and arriving there in a timely manner. Sometimes we wouldn't even get on the tram that's in the airport, the train that's in the airport. we would walk or run through the airport delivering these meals to different flight attendants. But once flight attendants knew about it, then gate agents, they started hearing about it. They wanted to, hey, we have the same issue. We only have 45 minutes to find a restaurant, walk to go get it, stand in line, eat, and be back at our station. So
impossible.
So it was crazy. So they suffered some of the same pain points. Pilots, the same thing. Now pilots is a little bit different because they kind of take care of the pilots, and they have a lot more disposable income than flight attendants and gate agents. So they were a little bit different. So once they started ordering, sometimes they would order for the entire cockpit, and sometimes flights for the entire plane, as far as like the people that were working there. And so we started getting a little bit of success, a little bit of traction for what we could handle. Then we got a cease and desist from one of the.
Hold that thought. Wow. Let's go into something else. We got 2 questions we got to get in before we go to our next break. We got 10 minutes to break, you guys. Let me say some of these comments. Comments are coming in left and right, you guys. Thank you guys for sharing the show. For one thing, we got a comment from Kelly that says, word of mouth, the lines can be so long. Also, Mary Goolsby is she's like quality. Absolutely. Sheila Redwine is saying, thank you for speaking on this. Thank you so much. And I don't know if you know who Kurt is. Kurt is.
Shout out to Kurt, man. Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you guys for joining in and tuning in on the show. We got a question from Grace and Angela Connolly. I'm gonna go with Grace first. Her first question is, what person has inspired you on your journey?
Ooh, what person? Ooh, I don't know if I can narrow it down to just one person. I don't know if I can narrow it down to just one person, but the people that inspire me the most is my family, my friends, because I didn't come from any money or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I want to be the first one to pull our people up. I want to be the first one. So I can't say that it's specifically narrowed down to one person that inspired me, because it's multiple people, and being in these different spaces, you just run across so many people with different stories that you just resonate with. So it's hard for me to just choose one person, Grace. But that's a great question.
That's a great question. You got many people, and kind of along the lines of people that's in your life. I love Angela's question. Has anyone ever stolen your idea?
Stolen? There's companies out there that's doing the same thing that we were attempting to do at the same time. I actually had meetings with them because I was fearless. I'm fearless when it comes to reaching out to people, because one, I know no one has the passion that I have for Rush the Line, or no one's gonna take care of it like me. And so there's other companies out there doing it, but one thing that they say is competition is good. They just validate what you're trying to do, but you also have to find your differentiator. What's your differentiator going to be? You don't want to pattern yourself and be looked at as the same company that's doing it, but what's your differentiator? So that's one thing. There's one that they see when they pull me up, or they pull Rush the Line up. We're a Black-owned company that's doing it. So that's one thing. But there's a lot of people that there's a company that's out west that's doing the same thing that we were attempting to do. Yep.
Oh, okay. Great question. Mary is also saying, I love this comment she has. People will share good customer service. That's why Chick-fil-A always have their line.
Absolutely.
Speak on, look, I see that's something that you are, you're passionate about. Omarie, speak on that about customer service.
Customer service, that's like one of the most important things, because you want that feedback. One, because you want a repeated customer. You don't want them just to order your product just one time. You want them to keep coming back. And that's why we keep going to Chick-fil-A. And not to, throw them under the bus, but they were the company that's cease and desist in the airport. No shade, no shade, no shade.
What happened with that, Omarie? Once they did that and you guys had to address it, how did you guys handle that?
So what happened? It wasn't necessarily Chick-fil-A that sent it. It was the company that owned Chick-fil-A inside the airport.
Whoa.
That sent it to us, right? But it wasn't for reasons that that we are thinking that we were compromising the product or bringing down the quality. It was because we were using their images on our order site when people were ordering.
Wait, okay. So speak on that though, because you guys were really the DoorDash of the Atlanta airport, and so but DoorDash has their how did it turn out, Omarie? How did it turn out?
After that 5 to 6 months of us buying airline tickets to get inside the airport, being in those rooms, having people around you, we were able to get in and out of the airport for free. Let's just say that. So we were able to do some delivery. So they knew about us. The airport they knew about us. And later on, they ended up reaching out to us. But going through that entire process of getting a cease and desist, and then having a meeting with the company that gave us the cease and desist, and finding out what it was for, and they were actually they were proud, because they were like, our CEO did some of the same things. They had to figure out how to make their company work, so they had to do some things that were unorthodox, conventional, to figure out if it worked. So I told them my story of how we wanted to make this work, and Chick-fil-A, by it being so much fast in service, that we put 5 restaurants on our app, and those were based off of, one, customer discovery, figuring out what the customers wanted to eat, and of course they love Chick-fil-A, so put Chick-fil-A on there. And and then those other 4 restaurants, we wanted to put it in an area to where it was easy to get to, so we didn't have to do too much running. But it was all strategic. But again, going back to customer discovery, figuring out what do people want to eat. Yeah, absolutely. Trademark and copyrights, all that stuff matters. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we did that, and then we were like, all right, well, let's figure out a way to do this the right way. So we ended up getting our ACDBE, which is,
what is that?
It's advanced. It's advanced disadvantaged business enterprise. The ACDBE certification. So
yes,
to focus on getting that. So we ended up focusing on and getting our ACDBE, and really the red tape and the barriers to entry, it was so hard to get inside the airport and do it. But at the same time, like I said before, we were just willing to make it work. So we pivoted. We pivoted to get more traction, and to go back to our customer discovery, interview teachers in school systems, because at this time, the world was changing. The world was changing because, one, we had to wear masks. 2, they weren't letting anyone in the schools. Teachers weren't able to leave campus. If they did, then that posed more threats of them being late to get back to work. So we were like, hey, let's figure out how to deliver food to teachers and school systems. So we ended up getting a pilot program with Roswell High School and North Springs baseball team, and partnering with Clean Eats out in Alpharetta. Shout out to Rusty at Clean Eats. And we started delivering food to Roswell High School, and shout out to my cousin Dwayne. He's the coach of the North Springs baseball team, allowing us to do a pilot program with them. So we will provide them with their pregame meals and sometimes their postgame meals, healthy options, because the NIL was coming down, and they wanted to make sure that they feed the athletes the best, the best food, because they were getting ready to go to the next level. So we wanted to do that. So we did that. We did that for 7 months until the baseball season ended, and then the world changed again.
Wow. Goodness. I mean, okay, who was that said pivot, pivot, pivot? Oh, that was very good.
Mary. Shout out to Mary. Definitely. Always pivot.
Always pivot. Also, I love what Pat Nash said. Love that. Be confident in your service. Absolutely. Pivot and be confident in your service. So, and what I hear you, what I hear in you, in relation to this entrepreneur, especially when you're saying you're giving us the definition of customer discovery. Mm-hmm. What Pat and I always talk about, that's my business partner in what we're doing in this venture. We talk about we're always looking for the person that really loves what they do. Because in your entrepreneur spirit, I can see in you, Omarie, that you have a love for this. And that's why you don't mind the no's. You don't mind the pivots. And here's the other thing that you taught me today. You don't even mind the people that want to steal your idea. You know how you helped me in this one? Because I used to get mad about it. Omarie, I'm like, somebody was so level up. And they were using it very similar to what we're doing here at Level Up. Mm-hmm. What you taught me was, you know what, Angee, embrace that, because that tells you that you're in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Now I can hear it from I hear it from my friends and family. Oh, Angee, you get the accolades from them. But Omarie, I'm here to tell you, you really don't know what you have until it's someone who don't know you looks at you and say they want that.
For sure.
And you helped me this today. They even are trying to steal your idea, your identity. Your
competition is good. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Come on, like it's good. But my goal is not even to be in competition with them. It's to possibly partner with them, for them to find me. Because if you're doing something good and you're doing it to the best of your ability, then they're gonna find you. So let them. I want y'all to find me so I can partner with y'all and show y'all where there's a lack in this space and another opportunity that y'all could possibly.
So good. Wow,
that's a beautiful
we gotta go to break. We gotta go to break. Hold that thought, Mr. Hold that thought. We gotta go to break, you guys. And when we come back, you guys, we have one more segment with Omarie. You guys, he is laying out some really good nuggets, especially for those. I know it's so many of you that are out there who are entrepreneurs or on your way to being entrepreneurs, or you're like me. How can I do what I do better? Omarie, thank you so much for being here, my brother. You are laying out some really great nuggets for me and my audience. We got one more segment with you, Omarie. 30 more minutes with you. You guys, please hit that share button. You never know who needs to hear this conversation. Well, you're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Will
No, you devote your heart to following the Lord, no matter what the cost.
He hasn't had a good man in the home to be a role model. No matter how much I do, it's hard for a woman to call out the man in her son.
Isaiah, welcome to the Forge.
Worrying how the story ends. When I let go and I let God have his way. That's when things start happening. When I stop looking at back then. When I let go and I let God have his way. I couldn't seem to fall asleep. There was so much on my mind. Searching for that peace, but the peace I could not find.
I am thrilled to present you Journey to the Poetic Light, a heartfelt collection of poems that unravels the intimate and profound moments of life through the lens of poetry. This book is a beacon for those seeking silence, inspiration, and a glimpse into the kaleidoscope of human emotions. Journey to the Poetic Light invites you to wander through a landscape of emotions where each poem is crafted to guide you toward enlightenment, reflection, and inner peace.
Intro for my show, nice though, hot like nitro, cool as ice though. With that type of dichotomy, y'all know it's gotta be. Who else could it be but T? Rub your eyes, behold the Tony D. I'm the Dream Supreme DJ straight out of Queens. I'm eclectic, the dope is selected. Emerging music break, Tony D will take, yeah.
Well, Tony, I don't care, long as you take me there, someplace to ease.
This is recording artist Bertrand McKinney, aka Birdie, and you're listening to CHH Jams, where the bars come from the word. Y'all keep it locked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. This is Orlando Presents right here on CHH Jam Presents. Make sure y'all tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and check out our new show, CHH Jam Presents, right here on The Real Level Up. Let's go, y'all. Let's level up, level up. Let's get it. CHH Jam Presents.
Hello, everyone. This is Pat Nash of Pat Nash Talks, where we have the conversations that create real relationships. I'm here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us right here on Level Up Nation. See you then.
It's your girl, Kathy Hood with Woman University. Let's level up on Sundays.
Hey, this is your girl, Nick Nat. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
Atlanta, this is Ronnie Davis Frank from the Wild Wild West in Color Rodeo and Agriculture Expo. Join me every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we level up with Angee. Let's get ready to ride.
Welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Although Mr. Scribe will call it, no, Angie, it's not so beautiful. You know what's going on here in Atlanta. Well, I call it liquid sunshine. Yes, we're getting all that bad weather. I'm going to blame it on Pat Nash. We're getting all that bad weather from Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. Thank you, Pat Nash. Because Pat went like this. She blew it over. She blew it over this way. Anyway, listen, we got some people that are in the comments, you guys. Thank you guys for commenting and let us know that you are here. I want to say shout out to Sean Hagan. You know who Sean?
I knew she was gonna say something. I knew she was. Hey, mom.
Look, hey, mama.
Right.
We proud too. Your boy is doing fantastic.
Angee,
we also got. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. One more. We also got Kurt who said this. I got 45 years of customer service experience and trust that great customer service will keep people coming back. You better say that, Kurt. All right, go ahead, Mr. Scribe.
No, all I wanted to say is based on what Omarie was saying earlier, in the entrepreneurial journey, you said bumps, hitting your hand and stuff. But the points that he's getting, you guys should make notes. Before you go into business, like he said, customer service, know who you're going to be. A lot of people got great ideas, but when they execute them incorrectly, it blows up and it never happens. You got to do what we call the grunt work, which is not pleasant, it's not pleasing, it's difficult. But if you can get through that and come out on the other side, that's where the accolades and the success come. That's what I get out of it.
Wow.
Absolutely. One thing one of my friends told me, shout out to MT Strickland. MT Strickland, his company is called Metric Mates, and they were on Shark Tank. He said, you either gonna do the work on the front end or you're gonna do the work on the back end. Either way, you gotta do the work. So
yep, either way.
Wow. Well, oftentimes my group, especially Pat, that's my road dog. She's like, only you know the vision for what you have for what we are building here. And oftentimes she'll say, you got to be the one to show up. You got to be the one to show up. I can get us in the door. Well, she does. She's beautiful, fun-loving people. People are attracted to her. So she's able to walk us in the door. And that's why I always say it is very important to have that, that person, that second person in charge that has at least half of your vision, because they can walk you in the door, Omarie. But I love her spirit in this. But there's only one Angee, and God has given you that vision. I can walk us in the door, but you got to sit at that table and allow people to understand what we're trying to do here through your eyes, through your vision, what God gave you, what comes out of your mouth. And here lately, I had been absent, and due to unforeseen circumstances, I have more time on my hands that I can show up and sit with these people and help them to understand what the vision is for this company that we are building. And I'm gonna tell you, Omarie, I know you get this as an entrepreneur. There's nothing like having a great business partner, but it's nothing like having people that support you in all the other aspects of you growing this business. I got to give a shout out to Level Up Nation. I mean, these people that are here to grow this network, Omarie, they are bar none. Starting with Mr. Scribe, who's been there for forever with me as my co-host. My amazing Grace, who has been the background, doing what she's doing. I never thought that one show would turn into a network. And I got to give a special shout out to Kimberly Howell, who, when I wanted to quit, know you've been there. I wanted to quit because it's hard. People, they see your vision, but like you said, there's some people that see your vision can't do anything about it.
Mm.
But she was the one that kept my arms held up. It's like, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, there'll be other people that are supposed to be coming along for this ride to do what they're supposed to do. Omarie, now I see it. Now I see it because of Level Up Nation. And had I quit, when this was back in 2018, I wanted to quit, and she was like, "Nope, we're not going to do it."
It's one thing I'm learning. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team. And and that's, you got to have those people around you supporting your dream, and on the same page as you, and wanting the same thing for the company. So that's how it's gonna work, because y'all got the same energy, moving in the same direction. So you need a team in order to go far. You are going to need a team, and you need people on your team that's got your back. So
And
shout
that's
out
the
to
Boy.
and that's the beauty of it. When you can find people around you that share the same passion and can see what you see, that's your team.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here's a new one that that I learned from Pat. This is how we were able to become better business partners. She says this all the time, Omarie. She's like, "Angee, I'm not asking you to come off what you do to support my dream." So how we're building this, Omarie, we are building based on my vision, but supporting other people's dreams. You know how empowering that is?
Amazing.
Only God. Only God. Only God. Because it started out when I'll take for me with Mr. Scribe. Mr. Scribe was a guest on the show for 2-3 times. But um it was the unselfishness of Kimberly, who sat in his seat for a long time. She had to go somewhere else. So I know what it feels like when you have somebody that was there with you for a long time that had to be repositioned.
Yep.
She had to go somewhere else, take care of family. It was all about family. But she said to me, "Angee, consider Mr. Scribe." I wouldn't think about Mr. Scribe. Who? No. 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 What I really said in that meeting, I said, "Girl, perfect example," because at the time, Omarie, I wanted a man to sit in that position because I wanted a man's point of view.
Absolutely.
Perfect one. He knew how to speak. He spoke well, but not only that, I saw that it would be a way that he can be somewhere constantly and talk about the things that he's doing. So before we get off, we're going to present some of the things that he's doing on his end, so that that constantly, and it's a constant thing, like you're saying, it's a constant thing that people need to know what you do in your business. I think that's one of the best things that entrepreneur knows, that you have to keep in front of people's faces about what you do. That's why we have commercials. Businessmen have commercials. We have our heart and spirit as entrepreneurs. And I love what Mary said. You got to keep them informed of who you are and what you do. What I learned from you when you said, when I didn't have a customer, I was passing out flyers of what we do.
Yep.
Love that. Speak on that.
Yeah. So the only way we were doing it, because again, like I keep saying, we had to be low key in the airport, and the only way to capture those customers is go directly to those customers. Hey, I'm the CEO. I'm in here putting in work to show you all what we're doing. So the only way that we could capture those were to pass out and put something in their hand, have something for them to scan the way they could order food. Once we got their information, then we were able to send them QR codes, send them coupons, but that at least let us know that they were interested in the program. But getting out doing what they call guerrilla marketing it was effective, because that was the only way that we could capture that specific audience inside the airport where they were, because that's where they were having the pain points. So
wow, I think you said the most important part that I want a lot of you guys who are entrepreneurs. You said it over and over again. You research the pain point. And I think that's another thing that's different from an entrepreneur than a businessman. You pivoted and you found where the pain point was so that either you improved upon your product or service or you outright changed it, changed the model to hit that pain point so that your business model will grow. Speak on that.
Yeah, and even still to this day, we're still pivoting, right? So where Restaurant is today is not where it was last year because, again, technology has changed substantially with the integration of AI and artificial intelligence. So right now, Restaurant is, we went back to the drawing board, did some more customer discovery. We found out that people weren't talking about food delivery in the airport now at this point. Because now people are comfortable with traveling again. People are comfortable with being in the airport without masks on. So they're walking to their gates. Well, now they're talking about how long the lines are. That's always been a discussion, but we had to get down to deliver food first, deliver food to teachers and staff, and figure out exactly like what is the true pain point. And the true pain point was these lines are continuously long, no matter where they are. So for Restaurant today, we've integrated in some AI technology. We're going back to the drawing board. We sent our development offshore to start building some AI technology to provide more efficiency in the airport, to where you have an insight, you have a glance on before you even get there, or when you even get to the airport, it starts shooting out notifications on making your experience more efficiently to get to your boarding, to ultimately get to your ultimate goal, which is boarding the plane on time and getting to your destination. So today, as it stands, we are we're definitely focused on the technology piece of Restaurant and trying to figure out how to be more efficient in the airport. Because you think about it, right? Next year we have 14 months to get ready for one of the largest events that's coming to our city since the Olympics, and that's the World Cup. So there'll be 3.2 million more people in Atlanta that don't know their way around Hartsfield Jackson, Atlanta. And we want to get them through the airport to that stadium in an efficient manner. So that's what we're working on.
Wow. Congratulations to you, Omarie, and congratulations to you for forecasting, because I think that's one of the weaker side of entrepreneurship, that people who are, they're just trying to provide the product for today. And what I hear you saying, and that's the businessman in you, that forecasting that you have, that's what's going to help you stand out among the crowd. And that's what you talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Yeah, competition is good, but what are you going to have in your business model that's going to make you stand out from that competition?
You got to live in the future. You got to have when being an entrepreneur, thinking about innovation, you always got to live in the future. Because for me, being an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking about problems that I can solve within our space, right? So just being in the space, I feel like all things logistics cross for me. Even with my company, Line&ORGN+Reach, there's a logistics company as well, right? So that company, we have a contract with a software company that does 100 and something trade shows a year, right? But they don't have space inside their office because one, either they work from home or they don't have space inside their office to hold their trade show equipment. So what I did, just being around the community, being around Atlanta Tech Village, being around the Russell Center, being around ATDC, there was a company that needed these type of services. So what I did was I was like, all right, well, we're going to go out, we're going to find a place where we could store their stuff. Then we're going to create a technology aspect of it, which would not only allow them to see what they have in inventory, but it'll be just at the press of a button. So I created them an app. So now all they have to do is go on, and shout out to my CTO of Restaurant, Elijah, my cousin. He built me an app and put their products in the store. Now all they have to do is go on, put what they want in there, and it gets to the next city, and all their salespeople have to do is get in there and sell the product.
Wow.
Okay. Omarie, I am, my team knows when I do this right here. Okay. Angee's wheels are turning. You keep talking about your cousin who is
he's the man. Like Elijah, we call him Spooter, but his name is Elijah. I say he can build anything. And he's always thinking in the future. He's always thinking in the future. And it don't matter what idea I come to with him, he's always just thinking about, all right, well, what can we do to service this part of it? Like, what problems can we solve within this app? So yeah,
wheels are turning, huh, Angee? The wheels
of
are turning.
Course it is. Of course it.
Level Up Nation app.
I'm thinking. Look here. When Omarie is talking about pain points, can I tell you guys? I'm giving you guys a little bit of insight of what I talked with my my business partner about. That's all we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we talk about, because really for Pat and I, our customer really is Level Up Nation. It's all the shows that is part of the Level Up Nation. And when I tell you, Omarie, we talk about it every day. Absolutely. Every day. We're trying to figure out ways that it's going to make it easier, faster, efficient. What would their audience want from them better? So we have our own show, but at the same time, we will try something out really on her show. We try a lot of things out on her show, and we're constantly saying, okay, girl, this is going to work for your show. We know it's going to work for all the other shows.
Mm-hmm.
We're always talking about it.
Yep.
Always talking about it.
Synergies always cross somewhere. So yeah, it don't matter. Like I'm just all about solving problems, and really, like I said, I feel like Origin and Reach and Rush the Line, those synergies cross somewhere. So with logistics, either way, it's gonna work. Even DJing, even coming down to DJing, I feel like DJing is a part of logistics too. So
you're delivering music. You're delivering music that look. From another entrepreneur to another entrepreneur, I'm always thinking of ways that, because we run 4 companies, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're always thinking of ways of how these 4 companies will intertwine. So I get it. I get what you are going through, my brother. And shout out to you. Wait a minute, where your mama at again? Let me get her. Where's she at? Let me give her. Miss Sean, I know you're still listening. Let me do this for you. Girl, you did a great job. You did a great job. Go ahead, Mrs. Scribe. I know you got something else. We got about another 10 minutes before we get going.
Taking in all the information and just gleaning a lot of things he said. It's logical. I'm a logical thinker. I write poetry, and the way my mind works, I do a lot of analytical work on my regular 9 to 5. So I'm doing data, basis, spreadsheets and things, and everything he says, first of all, before you even start, pinpoint what it is. Get your variables in there, and analyze that. Create your equation. Put the variables in. Equation gives you an answer. It's kind of like doing that, but too many times people have a good idea, but they're skipping steps. They're not. They're leaving things out. Other people they're taking in the noise from the outside. Like you said, you got to be focused. You got to be focused in where, okay, I hear that outside noise, but it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. Being able to pivot is another aspect. He's giving you the key things that you need in order to execute being an entrepreneur, being able to pivot, being able to identify your demographic. All of these different things, as an author, as an entrepreneur, as a host of a show, all these different traits can work in your life. Organization. Your life could be organized where I know when I wake up in the morning, if I'm blessed to do that, these are the things that I need to do to move forward. So it works with anything. Yeah. It works with anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, listen, Kelly is giving you another heads up. She wants you to know.
He know already. He already know.
Kelly, you already know, Kelly. You already know, Kelly.
I love Level Up Nation.
2026 and 2028. Listen, we are. That's exactly what we forecasting.
Yeah. Well, listen, Omarie, I want you to really consider coming back on the show when you get your wins. Listen, I might invite your mama. Your mama be like this.
Definitely.
I love it.
Thank y'all for having me. Like, I mean, people.
No, it's good exposure for you, brother. Great exposure.
People need to hear the story. Like, entrepreneur, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. I have my days all the time. I mean, even with DJing, like I went on tour with a popular artist, and I'm getting ready to go on another one with another popular artist. So yeah, like it's still shout out to I don't know if y'all know Ed Lover. Every time I say So yeah, I'm on tour with Ed Lover and a lot of music. And Kevin Ross, shout out to Kevin Ross in DC. But yeah, I still DJ on the weekends during the week, still able to research and do what I need to do for Russian Line and Origin and Reach. And like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm always trying to figure out ways of streams of income for our people and really just helping our people, pull our people up. I feel like information free. I say that. Yeah, man, I just want to be a leader for our community and make an impact.
You got me thinking too, Angee.
I know
it. Because I do voiceovers, Omarie, as well.
So yeah.
You never know. You know, he said, "Hey, no, we need a promo for Rush."
Come on.
I might be the voice of Rush.
Come on, I need to be the Rush voice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, well, listen, you guys. We got a couple more minutes with. He's an entrepreneur. As soon as he's off right here, guys, you got
to go. Angee, look at our question.
I do for real.
Question.
Our
Diamond has
Mary's got a question. I'm sorry. Okay, where's that question?
I have it here. I can do it.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
She was asking you, Omarie, do you work with Christian hip hop artists?
Christian hip hop artists. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a lover of God. Yes, He's the center of my life. I don't know a lot of the music, but hey, I'm always willing to learn. You know, I'm always willing to learn.
There's a connection, Angee.
Wait, hold on. Let me bring him up. Hold on.
We got Christian hip hop artists.
We gonna get you connected with. Okay, let me say this because I was about to say this to Omarie anyway. Omarie, we probably have had 4 of our shows watching this show.
Nice.
This is what I love about Level Up Nation. You're probably going to get at least 2 to 3 of them calling you.
Let's do it.
We're going to recommend you to our sister show, CHH Jams. They do have a plethora of artists that would love to talk to you. Absolutely. Mary Goolsby has a son that is the bomb, Mike Jeezy.
Let's do it.
So we will get you connected with those artists as well. Thank you, Mary. That's our manager.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I want to say thank you to Dr. Kyrie. I met Grace at Dr. Kyrie's Cookies, and shout out to Dr. Kyrie. Like, she's a super inspiration for anybody. And yeah, shout out to Dr. Kyrie, man. She's dope.
If she's not watching right now, she's probably gonna be watching a little bit later. So she'll put something in the comments a little later. You guys. Speaking of Dr. Kyrie, she just came off a powerful show at the 1 p.m. hour here on the Eastern time. So you guys go back to watch that show right there. Omarie, we know you have to shove on off. We're going to stay on for another 5 minutes with me and Mr. Scribe, but we know you got to go, my brother, to do what you do.
I'll stay on for like 5 to 10 minutes. You know.
You got another 5 minutes?
See, we leveling up. But
we may have some more questions for you. Hey, you guys. Okay, listen. He got 5 more minutes. If you guys have any more questions, please put the questions in the comment section because we got him until 4:45.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just like to say, here's an example of a person who made a choice and a decision. This is what I want to do, and I'm gonna find a way to do it. Just to let you guys know. Anything worth having is not easy, but if you persevere, stay consistent, you can achieve it. And a lot of times we speak a lot of words, but it takes action as well. And we try to give you examples of people that are actually doing it and willing to share what they've learned with you. So that's why you need to take notes, contact information, reach out, pick his brain. And if he has, he's a busy man, so you got to get him at certain time, maybe in between mixes, you can call them up or something. I don't know.
It's tough sometimes, but at the same time, I live by Clark Atlanta's motto: find a way or make one.
Oh, okay.
Find a way or you make a way.
Make a way.
That's my motto, like, for real. So yeah, thank y'all so much. I think this platform is amazing.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so much for highlighting us entrepreneurs and really getting in, doing the work, and again just highlighting that. Thank y'all so much. It's been great. It's been great.
Yeah,
Not a
it's been a
problem.
ride. Angee has been able to introduce me to so many interesting people that I've networked in, and I have a good habit of connecting with our guests, you know, on social
Yes.
media after the show and things like that. So I've met people, shared what I do and with them, and they share with me. So it's been a great ride. I mean, I'm just still
Well,
continuing to enjoy it.
well, Mary did come up with. Thank you, Mary. That's why Mary's so important to us. How we get in contact with you? So for the people who are listening, can you go ahead and give your information to those who cannot see it?
Absolutely. You can reach me directly at omariemann@gmail.com. It's my personal email. Or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, as you see below, or Facebook, Omarie Mann on Facebook. So all things Omarie Mann. If you want to follow Rush the Line, the company, Rush the Line is on Instagram. ORIGIN+Reach is on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. If you want to follow DJ Nephew on Instagram. So yeah, I'm just a serial entrepreneur, just trying to
Serial entrepreneur.
away.
Oh wow! And so let me ask you this, because this is my question. So if I'm at the airport, can we use your services at the airport? Rush the Line.
Well, not right now because we're in development, but in June we plan on relaunching in June, on June the 8th actually, and that's the week of Atlanta Tech Week as well. So we want to do a nice little rollout, you know, to get people involved in and having people to test the.
Omarie.
Wow.
Omarie, let us know when you're going to do that, and we can, Angee, I don't think she'll have a problem,
Nope.
putting that broadcast and blasting it on our platform, so folks, do a little promo. Hey, this particular date, you need a voice, I'm available. Angee said,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't worry about writing a little script. I'll put it together. Angee will hook it up so to let folks know, hey, coming up, you get that buzz going and get people excited.
Absolutely.
About what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. I'm with it. And the good thing is that we don't have to be in the airport for people to use it, and that's one of the things, again, pivoting out of the red tape, just trying to figure out, all right, what's going to give the people the most value, or airline travelers the most value, and look at even outside of the airport, because again, we want to do it outside of the airport, possibly in an amusement park, just trying to figure out ways to be more efficient and to solve more problems. So yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, I never thought about the amusement park. Y'all probably can make a killing right there.
Because I mean, you think about, like, people are already on their phone. They're looking down at their phone anyway. So in the airport, like one time I traveled, to give you, a use case scenario. One of the last times I traveled, it was during hurricane season, and I was like, there's got to be a way to cut through these lines. And me, after we got out of the airport, I didn't get clear again or anything like that. I didn't get TSA pre-check or anything. So I was like, there's got to be a way around this to figure out a more efficient way to travel through Hartsfield-Jackson. So I remember when I was booking my ticket, I was like, wait a minute. There was a feature on here that you could choose to upgrade your boarding pass for $6 or $12 or something like that. So I was like, all right, let me see if this works. While I'm standing in the line, I purchased this priority boarding pass and was able to show the attendant the boarding pass and went around everybody in the line. People don't know that stuff. So we want to be able to give them that while they're at the airport, to give them more of an efficient experience. Now, the airport is already the most efficient airport in the world.
It is.
It's the most efficient airport in the world. But at the same time, there's still some bottlenecks there. There's still some problems that need to be solved. And all you got to do is start. I just tell people, just start. If you just start going through the process, then that's half of the battle. But if you just sit and talk about it, then
you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Man, I'm not for the people that want to talk about it. I want you to be a bee about it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, paralysis analysis.
Analysis.
I can't. I was that person for a long time, Omarie, and I can't do that anymore. And I because I got out of it, I'm seeing the fruits of it right now. Bringing on people that are esteemed as you are. I really wouldn't feel like I would have someone on my show like you until I really got it to a point where people want, like you said, I found the pain point. I found that people like you need to have a platform just to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? And just to say, that's the reason why I want your service, because I feel like I know Omarie. I can trust him with giving him my little pennies over here for the service that he has. So yes, absolutely, Omarie. I want you to consider coming back on the show, especially even with your with the person that is right there with you. I think it's important that my audience will see the both of you guys and what you guys are thinking right now and even into the future. We here at Level Up, we're going to pray for you for your success, especially with the World Cup coming in, and as my girl said, 2028. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl is on.
One thing we do know, Angee, about the Super Bowl of 2028, there's one thing for sure. Omarie's going to do his thing with that, and Atlanta Falcons will not be one of the teams.
You know what? Okay, Kim gonna get you. Listen, Omarie,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
That's
gonna
tough.
let you know, my brother. It is now 4:48. We'll gladly let you go. Me and Mr. Scribe, we're gonna stay on for a little bit while longer for he can do his segment of the show. Omarie, thank you so much.
Right.
We love you, my brother. Good luck to you
So
anytime.
much. Amazing show. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Grace, for reaching out. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Again, Facebook is Omarie Mann, LinkedIn at Omarie Mann.
Check them out, y'all.
OmarieMann@gmail.com. Just hit me up.
Omarie Mann. All right. Take
Thank you
care.
so much.
All right, Mrs. Scribe, your turn, my brother. What you got?
Angee, what I got is we do it. I just feel so good. Just met the brother today for the first time, and the vibe. He brought some excellent information. I hope you guys was taking notes because he made some key points. Even with me, I don't have a business, but I'm a writer, and I have to market myself. So the pivot points: who are my readers? Who are the people that's going to vibe with my scribes? Those type of things. I need to start thinking about it. So yeah, no doubt.
Well, there you go, man. There your books. Talk a little bit about them.
Oh man, well, obviously Angee has been beautiful with, first of all, interviewing me. And at the time she interviewed me, I only had one book. So we going back a few years. I have 3, and I'm excited to announce my 4th book is in the process of being published. Now, I would share the title, but I'm going to hold off on that for a while because I'm still working on the editing piece. But I just finished that part, sent it back to the publisher to be formatted and set up for how it's going to look in the book. Next phase is working with her graphic artist to design a book cover.
Yeah.
Once that happens, it'll go into print, and I will be, obviously, I'll let Miss Angee know if she has time because she's been very busy. So I'll try to either email, text, social medias. Well, I'll get her somehow. I don't know which.
Where can we get these books right here though, Mr.
The
Scribe?
3 books right now. You can go to NolanPHollowayJr.com, which is my webpage, or simply go to Amazon.com, type in Nolan Holloway, and it'll bring up my books to be purchased.
There we go. All right. Well, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. I hope this show helped out someone. Now, as you guys know, we keep these shows up for forever until, Facebook says we're going to be taking it off. If you guys don't even know this, that Facebook will be eliminating, old shows, past shows that we've had for years. So I want you guys to really, really head on over to Fanbase. Level Up Nation is heading that way. And the reason why we are heading over to fan base, you guys, I know for sure that all of our old shows, we are uploading them as we speak. So if there's anything that you guys have missed on any of our shows, you want to replay it, you want to stop, you want to look at it again, you want to share it with a friend, I want you guys to really consider getting your accounts up and running with Fanbase, because we are heading that way as well. With Pat Nash Talks, she's going to be the first one out of the gate to do exclusive content on Fanbase. And that's where we're heading. We're heading in that direction with Level Up Nation as well. Dr. Kari says it all the time. I feel like I need to have a 2-hour show. Well, she is, you guys. She's going to have that second hour on Fanbase, subscription only. So those will be subscription only shows that we will provide for you guys that will go a little bit more in depth on some of the people that we have on our shows. So we're telling you right now, head on over to Fanbase, get your accounts up and running, and start subscribing to some of our shows. We've been doing our shows for a long time, quite a long time, without asking for a dime. Now it's time. As you guys heard from this esteemed guest that we have, it does take money. It takes customers for us to continue to grow and grow well. So now we need you. Now we need you. Head on over to Fanbase, subscribe to my show, Dr. Kari's show, Pat Nash show, CHH Jams, who is Orlando Page, and my boy, the new artist profile with Tony D.
Tony D.
Every last one of us are heading on over. And we cannot forget our special show, which I think Mr. Scribe, she's about to go to 4 shows per month. That is Food for Thought with Kelly Hawkins. That's my girl.
And that theme intro gets me every time I hear it.
You're so silly.
It does.
Well, you guys, listen, we're going to say goodbye for now. We'll be back for another live show next week at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here, same bat channel, The Real Level Up. We'll see you guys next week. We love you, mean it. Take care.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy.
My G, coming through the crowd raw, big dog, you don't really wanna feel these claws. See, God loves me anyway despite these flaws, so I gotta get a little buck, why yeehaw. My God giving y'all the blessings, so I never tap out, no time for stressing. I'm confessing that I'm still learning lessons. When I get knocked down, get up stepping, cause I know how my blessings flow. Started from the ground down to the tiptoe. Holy Spirit, you don't wanna miss this flow, cause I'm talking about you and the whole trio. The Father's on top and they call me mijo. For my Latino, just Jesucristo. My God's bilingual, so if you didn't know, I'ma speak English, mi amigo.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy.
Let's talk about what's going on in the real estate world now. This is a great time to go out and buy a home. I'm gonna talk about these condos that I have. So I have these condos. They're starting in the 2s, which is pretty low for Decatur. So you're looking at monthly for a mortgage at about $1,750 for the 1-bedroom and about $1,900 for the 2-bedroom. If I was renting an apartment, I would buy me a condo and I would rent to myself. If you were going to rent for more than 2 years, you need to buy your own place, let somebody rent a room from you, then buy whatever it is that you're trying to buy and sell what you have or use it as your first investment property. But what I wouldn't recommend doing is renting for 5, 10, 15 years. We have to change our mentality.
My name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. Numbers is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers into non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes one number at a time.
And I want to speak to you a little bit about dreams, about hope, about maybe giving up or wondering why you haven't moved forward. Someone asked me, how did you get here to be a relationship coach? It actually came out of a need for myself and what I observed looking around after I asked myself a couple of questions. Why was I not doing the things that I wanted to do? Why had I gone through divorce? I realized I was not the only one. You see, there's a lot of us who stopped hoping, who stopped dreaming, who stopped chasing our dreams or going after our dreams because we don't have to chase anything. When we look internally and figure out what it is that's holding us back, the sky's the limit and you don't have to chase anything. You attract it.
Starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Dr. Kyrie Listens. Healing begins with being heard. Join us at 3 p.m. for Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. Coming to you at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the New Artist Profile. We keep it hot for you. Following the New Artist Profile at 7 p.m., join the Dynamic 3, Orlando, Kim, and Birdie for CHH Jams Presents, where bars come from the word. Relationships can be challenging, so we save the best for last. Join us for Pat Nash Talks on those special occasions every second Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have food for talk, taking on health,